Well, I think we have another call now. Linda, you can go ahead with your call.
We filed bankruptcy, and I was just wondering how long this will stay on my record, and when it comes off, what is my credit score going to be, and how do I build it up?
That's one I've heard many times, around the coffee shop.
It's a mainstay, right? Is how long does bankruptcy stay on my record? What do I do to get my credit score up? Does my credit score go to 0 if I file?
Right.
Fun fact, and I'm pretty positive this is correct, if you have a Pulse, you have a 215 credit score. So that's kind of like signing your name to the ACT. You're guaranteed to get a few points, right? One of the craziest things is most people think that when you file bankruptcy, it's like this grim reaper that comes and takes your credit score into the great beyond, and it never returns. Couldn't be further from the truth. Most people who have a credit score hovering in that kind of mid 500s to low 600s range, their credit score goes up when they file bankruptcy, because what your credit is based on is a debt to equity ratio, and it's based on borrowing powers to liabilities. So when you file bankruptcy and you take away all those liabilities and you take away all the things that take away your borrowing power, boop, there goes your credit score, right? In addition to that, I think one of her questions was, how long does it stay on my record, right? We touched on that one earlier. It's 7 years. But again, most people rebuild their credit score within about 18 to 24 months. Because the key to good credit is making sure that you're opening and closing positive accounts during the course of the time, gaining borrowing power, showing positive payment records. So very likely, a lot of people will have a mortgage or a car that continues with them through bankruptcy, right? Everybody's afraid, oh, I'm going to lose my house, I'm going to lose my car. No, you're not. That routinely is a thing that we're able to avoid and keep. When you do that, you're keeping good payment histories. So that payment history is already boosting your credit right there. Then you wipe out all that bad debt and you're on your way to that fresh start that the bankruptcy code is all about.
Let me ask you a question on that, Mike. Are all debts created equally when it talks about what you're paying for your credit report? I have often heard that things such as medical debt, for example, may not be as bad if you have it on your record as opposed to not paying your light bill or your rent payment or your car payment, things that are a little more strictly guided by the federal government.
Right. So, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and spout out like I'm an expert on how they come up with this credit score scenario. One of the things that I can tell you has to do with reporting, right?
Gotcha.
What does and doesn't get reported to the credit bureaus. And in fact, there's a lot of legislation right now regarding whether or not medical debt should ever even be reported to the credit bureau. And that's got a lot of people kind of on both sides of the aisle asking a lot of questions about that. But whether or not something gets reported to the credit bureau then can determine whether or not it affects your credit worthiness, but especially, if you're out there trying to take out, rental agreements, things like that, those light bills, things of that nature, that may look a little worse on your credit to a potential landlord than, say, medical bills. Right. So it's kind of a push and pull on that side.
Very good.